Trump talks movies. Robocop, greetings, my little Trumplings. It's me, most beloved president of all time, Donald Trump. Today we're watching Robocop, the good one, not the remake. It starts with a news report there might be nuclear war in South Africa. Star Wars is causing trouble again. Star Wars has the worst fans. You can't please them. The doctor is selling artificial hearts. I don't need one of those. I'm on a strict diet that leaves me in tip-top condition. In Detroit, some police officers have been murdered by a guy called Clarence Boddicker, which is a nerdy guy name. I wonder if he kills people for making fun of his name. The police are blaming the company that owns them, OCP. Very unfair. Maybe we should think about privatizing the police. If it works for the prisons, we go to Detroit and visit a police precinct. The sergeant seems like an angry person. The new guy, Murphy, joins up. He heads down to the locker room, and the other cops are talking about striking. How dare they? The sergeant hears, and he gets even angrier. Why would they upset him like that? Can't they see the poor guy's already stressed out? Back at the front desk, we meet Lady Cop Lewis, Murphy's new partner. She's displaying the right amount of police brutality by beating the crap out of a guy. At OCP, there's a board meeting, which is very boring, but there's also a lot of ass kissing, which I do enjoy. They want to tear down Detroit and build a new city. Something to think about. A guy named Dick, at least I think that's his name. Maybe the boss was insulting him. Introduces his new robot cop, Ed 209. I didn't know the Irish built robots. Dick makes one of his underlings point a gun at Ed 209, and Ed makes him drop the gun. You have 20 seconds to comply. I love that. Very forceful and commanding. The guy drops the gun, but Ed shoots the crap out of him anyway. This guy's deader than JD's political career will be after I'm gone. Oh, well, there's always more underlings. The boss says he's disappointed, which seems like an underreaction, and another guy, Bob, says he has an idea for a Robocop. That's why the movie is called Robocop. It's about a robot cop. Very clever stuff. Back with Murphy and Lewis. Murphy is playing twirlies with his gun while Lewis gets coffee. Very lazy. Do some police work. They get a call about a 211, which is an armed robbery. I looked it up on something called Google. Do people know about Google? Very useful. They go after the armed robbers who turn out to be Boddicker and the boys who don't have names yet. A chase starts and a lot of shooting happens, but everybody is worse aimed than a stormtrooper. Obviously, they just let anyone join the police force. Get it together, guys. You're supposed to have standards. You're not ice. Murphy gets a lucky shot off and hits a guy named Bobby in the leg. A lot of Roberts in this movie. Very lazy writing. Clarence gets a couple of his boys to throw Bobby out of the van, and he gets squished. Poor Bobby, R.I.P. in peace. Clarence and his buddies get away. Later on, Murphy and Lewis find the van at an abandoned factory. They split up like morons and head inside. Lewis finds a guy right away, and you think she's got the drop on him, but he distracts her with his penis and knocks her out with fists and falling. Murphy sneaks up on two guys and shoots one. He tries to arrest the other one, a little goblin man called Emil, but all his friends show up and spoil things. Clarence slaps Murphy around, then shoots his hand off. How's he supposed to jerk off now? The other guys get a turn shooting Murphy, which is only fair. Afterward, Murphy looks very unwell, so Clarence, nice guy that he is, shoots Murphy in the head for his own good. Murphy gets taken to hospital, but he's deader than Melania's eyes when she looks at me. Very sad. Next, we're in a lab, and some science people are doing science stuff to a camera. They even have lady scientists, which seems a little unrealistic. They use a lot of big words I didn't understand. What's a prosthesis? OCP Bob is there. He likes to swear. Very uncouth. He introduces the camera as Robocop, which doesn't make sense. How can a camera be a cop? Afterward, Bob takes over the police precinct, which makes angry Sergeant angrier again. Everybody always wants to ruin that guy's day. Maybe they should let him have a vacation. We finally get to see Robocop, and he looks very cool. He has a robot body, but a normal person mouth. What happens if someone shoots him in the face? We find out he only eats baby food. I hope they put him in a diaper cause he's gonna poop like a sick dog. It'll get into the carpet and they'll have to scrub it out. Maybe they'll have to get it steam cleaned. It's gonna be a whole thing. He has some cool cyborg powers like looking at things really well and recording everything he sees. I don't like that one. He also has 3 prime directives about protecting losers and a 4th secret directive. Very intriguing. That's a new word for me. Don Jr. got me a word of the day calendar, and that's my word today. At the gun range, Robocop shows off his big gun and shoots a full load at the target. All the regular cops are impressed by the size of his weapon. He can hide it inside his thigh, which is very cool. Robocop goes out on patrol. He stops an armed robbery, which we know from Google is a 211. The guy doing it keeps demanding Robocop has intercourse with him, but Robo punches him through some glass instead. Back on patrol, he shoots a guy in the penis for being too friendly with a woman. After he gets called to the mayor's office, cause some counselor took hostages so he can get his job back. I don't approve of political violence. If it's against somebody I like, if it's against somebody I don't like, then I don't care. Robocop pulls the guy through a wall and throws him out the window. Very manly and decisive. Next is a news report about how great Robocop is. OCP Bob says some nice things and isn't swearing for once. At OCP, Bob and his buddy go for a tinkle in the bathroom, and they start bad-mouthing Dick. Everybody else in the bathroom leaves because Dick is in there on the crapper. Bob's buddy sees him and runs away so fast, he pees on himself a little bit. Why is everyone so scared of Dick? He's just some saggy old guy who wants to be in charge of everything. Someone should just slap him. At the precinct, Robocop is having a bad dream about Murphy being murdered. I don't know why. Maybe he knew the guy or heard about it on the news. He leaves, which upsets some people. On his way out, Lewis stops him and asks him his name, then tells him his name is Murphy, which he can't because Murphy is deader than the First Amendment. Obviously, she's confused and can't move past the death of her partner. Someone should get her some counseling. Outside and elsewhere, Emil, the little goblin man from Bodeker's Boys, stops his bike at a gas station to get some gas. He decides to rob the place while he's there. The rascal, he's very mean to the nerdy guy behind the glass, but if he didn't want people making fun of him, he shouldn't be such a nerd. Robocop shows up and Emil makes some comments about killing him before, which doesn't make sense because this is the first time they've met. Emil shoots at Robocop, but Robo is made of bulletproofium and it doesn't work, so Emil sets fire to the gas station instead, which explodes. Robocop is fine though. He's invincible, like Superman or Jesus. Emil tries to ride away, but Robocop shoots his bike and makes him crash. He's still alive somehow. He should have been deader than Murphy. Robocop wants to know who he is, but he just makes a groaning noise, which I think is all he can manage with his broken face. That's all for part 1, folks. We got to see some people being brutally killed, some corporate drama, and we have the mysterious connection between Robocop and Murphy to solve. Hopefully we'll find out about it in part 2. If you enjoyed this video, then please like, share, and subscribe. You have 20 seconds to comply.